Welcome back, and moving on to our first segment for today. I'm talking about the 11th edition of the D8 Summit hosted in Cairo, bringing together leaders of 8 member nations. We have also Bangladesh, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Malaysia, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Turkey. And to talk about this in more details, we have over the phone Dr. Hassan Wagih, Professor of Political Science. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning to you.
Today, actually, the summit, or let's say this year, the summit actually has a very important title. The D8 Summit focus on investing in youth and supporting small, medium enterprises. So first of all, how do you see the title of the summit this time?
Yes, the title of the summit is directed to the youth and to small business and medium business administration, which is very important. This is where we are supposed to start up good business for everyone who really seeking a good opportunity to establish their own business. And I think that the gathering itself is very important, and the countries are helping each other in and cooperating in trying to come up with a good model for development.
Well, the timing actually of this summit this time actually will make it different from any other summit that took place before due to the all challenges taking place to the region. So from your own point of view, how do you see that it is going to be different?
Yes, of course, we are passing through unprecedented events in the history of the area and in the history of the entire world. There is a sort of liquidity and a sort of conflicts all over the world, from Ukraine to the Middle East. And I think that to get all those presidents here and all the leaders of opinion with them to come up with a vision for how to manage the existing crises and to anticipate what could be more worse. So we hope that the situation would not slide into more difficult situations. So I think that the gathering of the leaders today, along with other gatherings, with Egypt is exerting a great effort in that domain. I think that the target is to de-escalate and to come up with radical solution to the problem, especially the Palestinian problem and the two-state solution.
So what specific strategies are being discussed to empower the youth of the D8 member countries?
Actually, each of these countries have their own experiences when it comes to develop ideas and to develop models for business and for establishing. Everyone in the youth today wants to establish their own projects. So I think exchanging of ideas are very important. Exchanging of experiences are very important. You know, in Bangladesh, for example, we have a great experience when it came to Bank of the Poor and how it did work. And, you know, Muhammad Yunus was a thinker who really started up that, and now he became the president of the country. And I think Bangladesh has also something very good to offer. Each country has its own experiences, exchanging of ideas, what could be more profitable, what could be more rewarding, fruitful. I think that is the meeting is for.
Well, small and medium enterprises usually are the backbone of economy in general. So if we're talking about this important event and these leaders, all of them together, how far can this strengthen the SME sector, especially among these 8 countries?
Yes, as I've told you, yes, exchanging of the experiences from the different perspectives from these countries which really are, all of them are working very hard to develop their own models. So, as I said, exchanging the models, exchanging the experiences, getting to know more about that. And also, as we have seen, the presidents are keen to raise the level of interaction, level of relationship to a strategic level, which is very important. And of course, this would take into account also the big challenges that you mentioned earlier in your previous question that we are all facing.
There are also initiatives that are being proposed to enhance innovation and technological advancements among the D8 countries, right?
Yes, of course. Technology is the key word now for everything. And I think, let us go back to this very important book written by an important thinker. The title is very attractive. Innovate or evaporate. So if you do not go out of the box, if you don't go to innovate ideas, I think you are in a real dangerous situation. And you know, when it comes to technology, technology is growing very, very fast. And as you have seen, the AI, artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence is one of the 10 issues the whole world is trying to address. What do we call it in the international communities? AI explosion and regulation. How, yes, it is very exploding, and it is actually it's making a perplexing situation for everyone because the pace is so high, and you have to cope up with that pace, and you have to meet a very important challenge when it comes to this. You have to meet the challenge that you should be the master of that. You should make the AI a tool. But once the tool is above me, above the human mind, we are in real danger. So I think that AI has become a very important issue, and even when it came to the Arabic language, and the United Nations yesterday was celebrating the Arabic language, they made the title AI and Arabic language, AI and universities, AI, and everyone is getting to watch out for this monster. And I will say this is a monster because, as you have seen, movies, science fiction, like the Terminator and stuff like that. So really, you have to bring an understanding among the youth and among everyone that AI is very good as a tool. But once it has the upper hand, we are going to nowhere.
Well, the G8 nations span 3 different continents, providing access to diverse markets, natural resources, trade routes. So, of course, Egypt, as the host, acts as a gateway between Africa, Middle East, and Europe. So, and definitely we have many challenges and disparities among member states. So, could you tell us more about the challenges and initiatives adopted to confront all these challenges?
Yes, of course, when it comes to, as you have mentioned in your point now, the geopolitical situation is a topic for the entire world today. You know, long time ago, the geopolitics were high on any agenda, but now it is higher again and became back again with zero-sum mentalities, with people who try to change the geopolitical situations by force. Whether you look at Ukraine, whether you look at the war between Russia and Ukraine, whether you're looking about the Middle East. So I think that Egypt's geopolitical strategic position make us in a very good position to talk and to raise our voice about the danger that the whole world is facing and that the area is facing. And I think that part of the 8 countries are real important actors in the province, in our area. So I think that would be a very good chance for the leaders and the president to get together and to discuss the issues in a way that would be in the sake of everyone inside the area and outside the area too.
And definitely the challenges like the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and Lebanon also will be on the priorities or the top of the agenda as well due to these discussions.
Of course, we need nowadays a huge humanitarian aid for several spots in our area, especially in Palestine, in Gaza, and of course in Lebanon, and of course in Sudan. And I think that this really called for calming down conflicts, because if the conflicts are still going on, the task and the burden of humanitarian crisis would increase. And I think that I have seen some good cooperation when it comes to that, and I listened to the words of the president who came here commending the role of Egypt in that particular activity. Egypt is opening its doors for all aid and tried very hard to get this aid transferred to the Palestinians in Gaza and to other places, but we need much more efforts, international community efforts. So these 8 countries are composing a good portion of the population of the world. It's over 1 billion and 200 billion people. So I think that this is a very good way to discuss such important issues like humanitarian aid.
Well, usually in times of political and social unrest, economic cooperation contributes a lot to the stability among nations. So how far can we say that the meeting of all these leaders can help in this respect?
Of course, what could be implied from your statement is that the magic word is economy. The important word is economy. Everything is resting on economy. So I think that this is why the leaders are trying to see ways innovative ways to boost the economic situation in all the countries, especially that all the countries have the same problems, have the same fate. We are all developing countries, so I think that we have to go for developing in a much faster way.
So we can put it like this, that economic resilience is the focus of them all. And I believe also we have different potentialities coming out of all these different nations that we need to focus on and take benefit of, especially that, as we mentioned in the very beginning, we are addressing youth and SMEs.
Yes, of course, as we have mentioned, exchanging of ideas, exchanging of experiences is very important for coming up with quick solutions. The most important thing, that we have now in the world is the proverb which says survival for the fittest. Yes, of course, survival for the fittest, but also survival for the fastest. So the point now is not to look for long-term. Yes, long-term is needed, of course, but quick fixes for economy and for economic crisis is very important and very pressing because the needs of the people in all these countries.
Well, of course, as a professor and as a specialist or observer, when you were following on with all the news released for the summit, there were some main points that you stopped at and started to think about, right? Could you tell us more about it?
About what?
About the summit. About the topics of the summit, about the challenges, about the future in general.
Yes, we mentioned that. We mentioned that we have economic innovation. We have all these crises are in the negotiating table of the leaders. you have a lot of work when it comes to this political. When we are talking about economics, the other side is politics, and you cannot talk about politics without economics and the other way around. So I think that now the challenges are very pressing and very dangerous, and as you have seen what happened in Syria, what happened in Sudan, what happened in Gaza, I think that solutions are needed to de-escalate and to make a stop on this zero-sum mentality that's really sweeping the entire area. And I hope that the leaders would have some kind of good plans for addressing this very, very dangerous situation.
So on the conclusion, what message would you like to share with the youth entrepreneurs and citizens of the D8 nations as the summit concludes?
Yes, when it comes to the youth, yes, we have to encourage them. We have to provide them with modalities. We must provide them with tools. It shouldn't be rhetoric, and but we have to raise the slogan for them and for everyone here. And their good, better, best. Don't take any rest until your good is better and your better best. You have to motivate them. You have to motivate them. You have to create the suitable milieu for them to work in a good environment that would enable them to innovate also.
Right, Dr. Hassan Wagih, Professor of Political Science, thank you very much for joining us. And moving on to a quick break, then we'll be back with more on The Breakfast Show.